it.
I came into Prague not knowing much about the city and left labeling it as my favorite. I just loved it. From its pastel buildings, clean streets, delicious foods, Prague was amazing. We spent 3 days exploring the city, taking a walking tour, going to museums, and exploring the nightlife. Prague, I will most definitely be back. Hope you enjoy this one.
Cause you chew with your mouth full. You, I should've run once I figured out that you can't work your tongue. I guess.
Welcome to Prague. We made it. We ate our first meal at a Waffle House, which we ended up going back to later because it was so fresh and good. I just ran around trying every single door of this place until I found our room because it never gave us a room number. We have this little entryway. We have a bedroom. Super nice. Best part is the AC. And then this, we have like a whole kitchen here. I'm pretty sure that's a pull-out couch. We made it. Didn't think we'd get here today. Our mom, who is meeting us here, missed her train from Germany. Are we ready to explain what happened? How we almost didn't make it to Prague. Okay, so basically what happened is I wake up, I don't know what time it was, just peacefully on my phone scrolling through it, and then all of a sudden I get a text from my mom and it's like, so are you guys on the way to the airport? And I'm like, what is she talking about? It's 9 a.m. No, sorry, it's 9:30 a.m. by that point, I think. And Sasha kept saying, oh, our flight's at 5:40. And we're like, okay, so we have like the whole day. We literally planned, we're like, okay, we're gonna wake up, we're gonna take a baguette for the road, get some croissants, whatever, you know, take our time, clean up the Airbnb, because mind you, the Airbnb was a disaster because we thought we'd have this whole day to clean it. We have this plan, and then I get this text at 9:30. So are you on the way to the airport? I text my mom, I'm like, what are you talking about? It's at 5:40. And then I'm like, well, let me just double check. So I go on my email and I check my flight tickets, and sure enough, the flight leaves at 11:40. It is now, at that point, 9:40. It takes an hour to get to the airport. It's not Charles de Gaulle, it's the other one. Sasha was in deep sleep. And so I go to her, I'm like, Sash, we're supposed to be, like, our flight's at 11.
I'm in the midst of a dream in deep sleep, like, no, there's no waking me. And all of a sudden I hear, Sash, our flight is at 11. I literally become vertical. Immediately I go into denial and I go, no, it's not. Like, my eyes are so closed and I'm like, no, it's not. It was. So we start packing, managed to pack up the Airbnb, which is a complete and utter mess. Like,
it's a disaster.
It's a disaster. It's disgusting.
It was actually, cleaning it was better than how I thought it would be.
Yeah, we managed to clean it and make it as if no one was ever even there in like 20 minutes. We leave at around 10-ish. Our Uber's there. Thank God for this man. Our Uber became the best person ever because he was speeding down the highway. He was going over 100 miles per hour and he cut our time down. This is an hour trek and he cut our time down by 8 minutes, which is a lot for driving because like it was an hour without traffic. How did he cut it down by 8 minutes? He sped. We get to the airport, we don't know the terminal. Couldn't do the check-in because we don't have data in Europe, so we live on Wi-Fi. There's no Wi-Fi in the car. Couldn't do the check-in at home either because we didn't have, that was a whole separate thing. Don't know the terminal. So we just go to Terminal 1. It's a smaller airport. If you need to go to the other terminal, not a huge deal. Kind of a huge deal for us. We go to Terminal 1, we start talking to the guys that go, yeah, you gotta be in Terminal 2. And we're like, fuck. We run out and we race to Terminal 2, get into Terminal 2, and check-in closes at 11. At this point, it's 10:58. We run up, go through the line, get to check-in area. The minute we open our mouths, it's 10:59. We now have 1 minute to do check-in before it closes. The guy starts helping us check-in. It's 11 now, okay? Check-in is closed. Ryanair has this awful thing. If you miss check-in and you don't check-in online and you're late for check-in in the airport, $55 fee per person. So now we're racking up to $110 fee of extra money, okay? And we're like, you know what, whatever, let's just pay it. He gives us the thing. We run over to the ticket desk, which is halfway across the airport. At this point, it's 11:04. Get to the ticket desk. They are taking their sweet ass time with my card, really taking their time with the stamp and everything. We gotta go. At this point, it's 11:08. It's been 4 minutes at the ticket desk. We go back to the check-in desk, run through everything. They give us the tickets. There's only a slight problem with the tickets, and the problem is that we don't have seats. We are now on standby.
We were kicked off of the flight.
We were essentially not given seats onto the flight, so we paid $100 fee to get checked in for no seats. Then we're like, all right, but she was like, still go to the gate, still stand there and see if you can get on the flight. We're like, okay, great. Then we look to our left. There is a 100-foot line. Is 100 feet a lot? I don't know. So 800.
There was a 2,024-foot line.
There's an 800-person line to with the security, okay?
And it was not moving.
We spot a security guard and we just go up to him. No words are exchanged.
I fully go, Monsieur, we need to go. He takes our tickets. He's like, did you scan them yet? And we were like, no.
He runs to the scanner. He scans them for us. He literally takes us through a restricted area with his like pass to get us through. Scans us into the restricted area. Goes to the front of the security line. Shoves everyone's stuff to the left. He makes room for all our stuff, gives us bins, puts our shit in the bins for us. Second person who helped us today. We got through security. You know, of course, we couldn't go through easily. I had to set off the security alarm for no reason. They have to scan me and all that shit.
This plane has been boarding the entire time we've been in this airport. And so now Sasha is getting all checked out for security purposes.
Anyway, they check us for another like 2 minutes and we get through. We run to our gate and we're like, okay, we made it through security. We got our check-in. We got everything. Everything is fine, you would think. We stand in the line. We're waiting to get scanned in. We get to the front. We're a little nervous that it says standby on our tickets, but we know that we bought tickets to the plane. Like it was in our emails and everything. So we're like, you know, it's fine. The person standing there scans our stuff. We're about to go in, like about to go out to the plane. And that's the only time when she notices that it says standby. And then she's like, oh, wait a minute, never mind. And we're like, okay, what? She said, yeah, so you actually have to get out of the line and stand on the side, you know, have a seat to the plane.
So like actually we were standby.
It wasn't just a silly little like STBY. It was like your standby.
It was like standby literally means you wait until everyone boards and then they see if they have seats. So how, if we already had 2 seats, could we possibly be on standby?
But third person who literally saved us today, the person standing there who scanned our tickets, she absolutely reassured us and gave us so much hope because she was like, they always overbook. Don't worry, there'll definitely be seats for you. Like, I'm not worried at all. And then 5 minutes later, we go back, get our things scanned again, and we get our seats that were the ones that we paid for. Like, those are the ones that we reserved. So not sure what the standby shit was. So we start walking to the plane. At this point, feeling much better. Everything is in order. We're gonna get on the plane. We're gonna get to Prague. Okay, moral of the story, we made it. The only other thing that I can really say from this experience was that after we went through all of this experience here with almost missing our flight, we saw someone else experience an equally traumatic experience, and that was getting broken up with.
This is the second breakup we have witnessed on this trip, I think. The first one was questionable. We're not completely sure. Still awaiting results.
We then went out to the market next door to buy some fruits and snacks. After chilling in the apartment, we went out again to meet our mom at the train station, discovering bits of Prague along the way. Picking up our mom from the train station. With her mom, showing her the sights on our route while updating her on all of our Parisian adventures, and she, her ones from Hamburg. In the evening, we ate dinner at a place that served Czech cuisine. My favorite dish was the beet salad, paired with rye bread and soft cheese. One of my favorite characteristics of Prague is its colorful buildings. The pastels seem to reflect the sun and increase the light throughout the city. After breakfast, we went to explore the area, stopping by a 100% sustainable store. We took part in our mom's ritual of stopping by different local farm stands and markets to pick up ingredients to make food for lunch. Mama's new dress, beautiful. It's perfect. She just thrifted it. to the city center, we saw many sights such as the Charles Bridge and the John Lennon Wall.
I've never seen so much candy in my life. Asha's heaven.
We saw the bridge, we saw the John Lennon Wall. Now we're in this little courtyard waiting for our mom to use the bathroom. Oh, she's doing it, going in the bushes in public, of course, so classic. We have a walking tour at 3, so we're gonna go walk for 3 hours. I'm excited actually to learn more about Prague. One of the things that struck me was the design of the president's place of work. We were able to walk all through the grounds of his workplace, and yes, there was security, but nothing compared to the heavily armed guards we saw in the rest of Europe or back home. The presidency was not this far off, never to be reached place, but rather a communal place for all. We climbed up to the top of the hill and were greeted with Prague's famous view, the red-roofed buildings. Paired with the pale yellow of the houses and greenery throughout, the view looked straight out of the fairy tale storybooks I used to read as a kid.
Oh my.
After our tour, we took our tour guide with us to eat and chat some more about the city. We walked along the cobblestone streets as the sun set, listening to the sounds of trumpet and taking in the views. Stop and try the sweet treat that we saw everyone eating.
Went out first night in Prague. I thrifted this today, and then Sasha did my hair. Sasha's first time clubbing. Here's the dress. She also thrifted it in France.
This was the best
best clubbing experience I've ever had. No creeps, super clean, and good music. The next morning, we tried the traditional Czech pastry of kolache, which is kind of like a cheese Danish, before heading out to the Jewish town, and then we went to a few different museums.
Warhol. Oh my god.
Because we didn't sleep much after our night out, we got some espresso at this cafe before walking around a park. Sasha and I were really tired at this point and were kind of done. Meanwhile, our mom was energized and ready to explore. We dragged along behind her, but it was definitely worth it for the view.
What do you think of Sasha's glasses?
I think you are porn star.
Porn star?
Позор!